everyone, we're Group M4 and our project is Beeminder, which is an automatic hive monitoring system for beekeepers. We'd like to thank Professor Salehi for his guidance with our project. On our team we have Geralyn, who worked on hardware design and hive prototyping. Zach also worked on hardware design and developed our microphone systems. Steve worked on our communications over Bluetooth Low Energy. I'm Joseph, and I worked on creating our backend systems in MongoDB, and Michael developed our front-end user application in React.
Bees are the world's #1 pollinator and are responsible for nearly a third of the food that we eat. However, bee resilience has been in sharp decline in recent years due to unsustainable agricultural practices, pesticides, and disease. Beekeepers are more important now than ever, but few people are choosing to enter the profession due to incredibly high labor costs. Our solution is an automated hive monitoring system that would increase the number of hives a beekeeper can manage and allow monitoring without intruding on the hive. The data from the hive would be used to catch issues before they become catastrophic. This would lower the barrier of entry to beekeeping, as well as improve efficiency among existing beekeepers. We determined that there were 4 main metrics in the hive to keep track of: temperature, humidity, weight, and an audio sample of the hive. A healthy hive's internal temperature and humidity should remain stable and not follow the curve of external conditions, and the weight of the hive lets beekeepers know when the honey is ready to harvest. The most interesting data, though, is the audio sample. Each age of bee produces a unique frequency, and the queen also produces her own frequency. By analyzing the audio sample, we can determine the age distribution of the bees in the hive, as well as the queen and her condition, which can tell us a lot about the current hive condition and any potential concerns.
Our product is based around 2 main components, the hive and the base station. The hive is where data will be collected. A system will be located in each hive being monitored, which will contain all the sensors and send that data through Bluetooth to the base station. This data will be recorded and sent using an ESP32 to control the sensors, grabbing all the important metrics: audio, temperature and humidity, and weight. Meanwhile, the base station, placed in a central location, will receive and process the data from all of the hive stations. This includes performing an FFT to the audio data to measure the frequency response and relating all of the data as useful information to the user. The base station will then push that processed data to the user on the web app, showing each metric as well as what it means for their hive.
The physical hive system that we built consists of a sensor module placed between the hive boxes and is kept charged using a solar panel mounted to the top of the hive. Installation of the sensor module is quick and easy. Simply insert the protruding piece between the hive frames. Here is a close-up of the piece that gets inserted into the hive. It contains our temperature and humidity sensor as well as our microphone and is encased in brass mesh to protect it from interference and residue buildup. A simple tensioning system keeps the sensors in place and allows for easy adjustment so that it can fit into any hive. Here is a close-up of the hive system internals. The protoboard is screwed into the 3D printed case to secure it. Because the system is not modular, it allows for a streamlined look with only one external connection. As you can see, once Beeminder is installed, it's hardly noticeable at all.
Here we have an overview of our communication system. Our sensor data flows from the hives, through a base station, and finally to our database. Each hive serves as a GAT, or General Attribute, client, and connects to a base station, which is acting as a GAT server. The base station implements a Bluetooth Low Energy service with a single writable characteristic, which the hives can use to upload their sensor data. The base station manages each hive connection independently, so multiple hives can be connected and uploading data at the same time. When a hive begins its periodic data upload, it sends a message to the base station signifying that a new upload is starting. This is followed by the sensor data and finally an end upload message. Whenever an upload is complete, the base station processes the data and packages it into a report document and sends it to the database using PyMongo. When processing the hive data, the base station performs calculations to determine if there are any hive conditions that may be cause for concern. The base station checks that hive humidity and temperature are within acceptable ranges and performs a fast Fourier transform on the audio sample. From this, the base station can compile inferences about the health of the hive. We are monitoring the hives for conditions such as the presence of one or multiple queens, signs of possible mite infestation, and the age distribution of 3, 6, and 9-day-old bees.
We wanted our users to be able to check the status of their hives from anywhere and get their data in real time. We also wanted them to be able to receive alerts and notifications if a hive needed their attention. Access to real-time data and notification allows our users to more easily manage their hives and only open the hives that they need to. For the front end of our project, we used React to design a web application. This design allows our users to monitor their hives from any device that has a web browser without losing any functionality. Our backend is built on top of a MongoDB database. The document store structure of MongoDB allows our applications to be easily scalable to a large user base. In addition, MongoDB document structure is highly flexible so that we can make changes to our document schema to support additional functionality if needed. We're using MongoDB Atlas to deploy our database server. Atlas is a cloud hosting service for MongoDB databases that gives us access to redundant servers and security controls to manage user access to the database. In addition, MongoDB Realms allows us to create endpoints for specific applications. Realms allows us to register and authenticate users and provide additional data controls that allow us to give a custom experience to each user.
Finally, we have our user application, which was developed using React and Node.js. Beekeepers will use this application to easily monitor the status of their hives all in one place. In the app, users can quickly and easily add, edit, and delete their hives, as well as view real-time data and the inferences about the hive health the Beeminder system makes based on sensor and audio readings. The app's login page is shown on the right. The database handles user authentication on the back end, which allows for users to only see the hives associated with their account and no one else's. Here, we can see a user's homepage. This video was taken directly from the app that is currently deployed and running, and it is exactly how it appears on an iPhone. The app also works on a desktop computer, but for this presentation, the appearance on the phone will be shown. On the homepage, the user can see all of their hives in their own tiles. Each tile shows the hive's name, identifier, the last time the data was updated, its current status, indicated by the color of the tile header, and the updated readings from the temperature, humidity, and weight sensors. Also on the homepage, the user has the ability to add a new hive by clicking the New Hive button and entering a name for the hive and the identifier unique to the Beeminder system they purchased. This identifier is what links the hardware system to the database and therefore the web app. The hive is then added to the bottom of their tiles and will update with real-time data once their hardware system is in place. To get a detailed review of the hive, the user can go to the hive page. This page displays more in-depth information about the health of the hive. The temperature, humidity, and weight are still displayed and are shown with current statuses as well to make it very clear where an issue with the hive may be coming from. The hive page is also where the audio information is displayed. Based on the amplitudes of certain frequencies in the FFT, inferences are made about the hive health, including if a queen is present in the hive, as well as if there could be a potential mite infestation. The user can then open the graph of the FFT to examine the data further, as shown on the right. Finally, we have the account page, which shows a short detailed list of all of the user's hives, including names, when they were last updated, and when the user added the hive to their account. Here, the user can edit the hive name if desired, simply by clicking Edit Hive and entering the new name. Changing the name does not affect the data at all stored in the database, and the user can still view the same results as they saw before. The user can also, if for whatever reason necessary, delete a hive from their account just by clicking Delete Hive and confirming. The hive disappears from their list, it will no longer appear on the home page, and it is removed entirely from the database as if it never existed in the first place.
Our initial business plan didn't change much while completing our prototype. Our target market still makes sense, looking at smaller and newer beekeepers in the US who we believe may benefit from including our product into their hives. Perhaps most importantly, we came under budget from that originally estimated per hive. Some changes were made from this original estimation, as we made small redesigns to streamline the product and adapt it to our test hive, and included less but more expensive sensors than in our original prototype, which helped with configuration. Our final bill of materials can be seen on the right. One note is that since our base station is intended to work for multiple hives, it is not included in the per hive breakdown. Though, as you can see, adding the $35 for the base station based on the Raspberry Pi 4 used for the prototype still keeps our product much below the average pricing of competitors. The base station price is also one of the most likely to go down in future iterations. So, with our product on budget and the prototype complete, we see that our advantages over competitors continue to hold. We have a cheaper product with a smaller profile that allows room for advancements in the future. In future iterations of this product, we'd like to continue to build upon the progress we made thus far. Shown here are some steps we see making an immediate impact to our product once applied. First, there are many general improvements to increase the efficiency of our product and the value we will get out of it. For hardware, custom PCBs would allow us to slim down the board and really only include what we need, cutting down costs. Smaller, cheaper components would add to this effort as well. On the software side, continuing to condense the code and work on even better data processing could allow for less powerful hardware requirements. Furthermore, improvements to audio processing will give us the ability to provide users with a lot of unique data. This could be aided by research using machine learning, creating a system where sensor data can be monitored and tied to specific events, leading to more accurate and comprehensive alerts. Additionally, adding Bluetooth 5 support could assist with a longer transmission range for data to travel. Lastly, additional sensor satellite locations would allow for better and more complete data inputs, since we can monitor multiple sections of the hive.
Once again, we'd like to just thank Professor Salehi for his guidance over the last 6 months. We'd also like to thank Best Bees Boston for their product requirement advice.